Hello everybody and welcome back to another Magic the Gathering Arena video. Firstly, I know I did a poll on which deck to play next and the choices were Mono Green Artifact Ramp, which won the poll, or is it Chaotic Transformation or whatever it's called, the one that cheats stuff in, and the Mono Green Artifacts won. I tried and tried and tried to make a Mono Green Artifacts deck that wouldn't just lose every game, and I couldn't do it. So if anyone knows how to do it, please point me in the right direction and then I will make that video. But I am not good enough to do it. So instead I have made a Gruul version, which you'll notice is largely red, but it does have a couple of key green cards. The first of which is the Teething Wurmlet. This is why I wanted to make a green artifacts deck in the first place, because the Teething Wurmlet is a 1-costing 1/1 worm, which has Death Touch as long as you control 3 or more artifacts. Fine, 1/1 Death Touch is nothing to write home about, but whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, gain 1 life. Now that is nice against mono red and things like that. And if this is the first time this ability is resolved this turn, put a 1/1 counter on it. So each turn you play an artifact, you get a 1/1 counter. If you can create artifacts in your opponent's turn, you can in theory get 2 sort of per turn cycle. So this is kind of a nice 1-drop to build around with artifacts. We're then running 2 of Mishra's research desk. So this is one of the things that Gruul gives us access to. You can play it in green, but it is nowhere near as good, because it is 1 to put the artifact in play. It then has 1 untap, sacrifice the research desk, exile the top 2 cards of your library, choose one of them. Until the end of your next turn, you may play that card. So if you do this during your turn, you get a whole turn cycle in which to play that card. If you do it during your opponent's turn, you just get 1 turn. But getting to look at 2 and play one of them is very nice for 1 and 1 tap, especially when we get extra, benefits of the artifact being on the battlefield, such as from the Teething Wurmlet. It then has Unearth for 1 and a red, so we can unearth, bring it back to the battlefield, and then we would have to pay the 1 and tap it in that turn, otherwise it's going to get exiled. So we can basically do the effect again for 3, essentially, is what Mishra's research desk is giving us. We are then at 2 running 3 Reckoner Bankbuster, which I won't go through, but this is there to trigger this as it's a nice artifact and also give us some card draw. 2 Obliterating Bolt. Obliterating Bolt, when I saw this card in the release, I thought that is actually going to make red, or especially Gruul decks, a bit more viable, because Gruul, what it struggles with is removing stuff. It's good at putting threats down of its own. What it's not very good at is interacting, because red things aren't as good as black in terms of removal, but a 2-costing thing that can exile anything with under 4 toughness is very nice. So I think Obliterating Bolt is a very, very welcome addition in this type of deck. Thinking of things like Tenacious Underdog is a very nice target. Things like Adeline, anything like white or soldiery, this will almost certainly exile for you. Then we're running 2 Feldon, the Ronom Excavator, which is a new card. This is 1 and a red for a 2/2 legendary human artificer with haste, and it can't block. That's obviously a bad line of text. When it is dealt damage, exile that many cards on top of your library. Choose 1. Until the end of your next turn, you may play that card, which is actually really nice. So odds are you're going to get at least 2 damage done to Feldon to kill him. He can be removed by black cards like Cut Down or Go for the Throat, which would mean you don't get any cards when he dies. But a 2/2 haste is a relatively good stat line, and then being able to get cards off the top is nice, especially if they only have something like a Sheldred to block with, or bigger creatures even. Then they have to do loads of damage to Feldon and give you loads of choice off the top. So you're getting at least 2 cards most of the time for them to kill Feldon. With this card selection, plus card selection from Mishra, plus extra draws from Bankbuster, we are tending to be able to find what we want in this deck when we want to find it. So this is kind of a nice combo. The reason that we're running Feldon is that we are running 4 of Brotherhood's End. This is kind of what makes the deck work. So you need this card, trust me, to make the deck work. This is 2 in a red for a sorcery, which does 3 damage to each creature and each planeswalker, or destroy all artifacts of mana value 3 or less. We're very rarely using that because we are an artifacts deck, so why would we one-side board wipe ourselves? But being able to do 3 damage to each creature and each planeswalker is very nice, because it gets rid of all soldier decks, all low curve black aggressive decks, mono red decks. You know, this is basically there to do away with all of those things, and it pairs very nicely with our top end Cityscape Leveler. Cityscape Leveler, which we'll come to later, is very good at dealing with one-off big threats, and this is good at dealing with lots of small threats. If you combine those together, we can deal with all threats. That is the sort of idea or build concept of the deck. The reason this pairs nicely with Feldon is if we sweep the board with this and we have Feldon down, we're going to get to look at the top 3 cards of our deck and put one into our hand. So we're replacing Feldon with more than just the 2 it takes to kill him. We're actually killing him with 3. Obviously killing your own creatures isn't something you should aspire to, but given that we're probably going to be playing Brotherhood's End at some point in the game, being able to get cards back for doing so is very nice. We are running 3 of the Arbalest Engineers. So there's 1 a red and a green. It's a human artist for 2/2, and when it enters the battlefield, choose 1. You can deal 1 damage to any target, put a 1/1 counter on target creature against trample and haste until end of turn, or create a tapped Powerstone token. We're pretty much using the third mode, explicitly, apart from maybe occasionally the other 2. Like if they've got a Thalia, dealing 1 damage to it could be very nice, considering our other ways to remove Thalia are instants and sorceries, or non-creature spells I should say. Create a tap Powerstone token is very nice, but giving something 1/1 and trample and haste, it could be nice with the Leveler, but we would obviously have to have 11 mana for that to then work, so it's quite a rare scenario. The reason that could be nice is that the Leveler does destroy a permanent on attack as well as into the battlefield, as well as cast, sorry. We are running 1 of Liberator, the Urza's Battlethopter. I actually put this in during the video so you can see why I decided to do so. But basically, this has flash and flying for 3. It's only a 1/2, but you may cast colourless spells and artifact spells as though they had flash. Well, we have tons of artifacts in this deck and colourless spells, as you can see. And then whenever you cast a spell, if the amount of mana to cast that spell is greater than its power, put a 1/1 counter on Liberator. So we have loads of things with high cast costs, so we're almost certainly going to be able to grow the Liberator and at flash speed, which can be nice. We're running 3 of Thran Spider, so this is a weird inclusion in the deck. When I read this card, I thought it was pretty damn useless, and it pretty much is, except for in a deck like this. So, Thran Spider is a 3-costing artifact creature spider, 2/4 with reach. Reach can be helpful in Gruul as well. When it enters the battlefield, you and target opponent each create a tapped Powerstone token. Now, Powerstone tokens are pretty useless to most people, but if you have a top end that consists entirely of artifacts, then Powerstone tokens are suddenly much more useful to you. So that's not too worrying to us that that is two-sided. You know, they do get use out of Powerstone tokens because they can power up abilities, so they can pay for things like Bankbuster's ability, or they can, pay, I don't know, costs for a research desk, and there's all sorts of things where abilities cost mana, so it can give them stuff, but at the end of the day, we probably have a better use for the Powerstone token. So I find it a bit annoying that this is a double-sided benefit. I don't think this would be OP if it was just you, to be honest, but hey. Then it has an ability of 7. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Obviously 7 is very expensive for this type of ability, but as this deck is entirely built around sort of ramping with Powerstone tokens, we do sometimes have 7 and no big artifact to play, and in those cases that 7 ability can be useful. So it's an edge case, but it is useful. I'm running 1 Visions of Phyrexia. This is kind of a trial in the deck, as I only have 1 of these in my collection. It's a 4-costing enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. At the beginning of your end step, if you didn't play a card from exile this turn, create a tapped Powerstone token. So when we play this, the turn we play it, we're almost certainly going to get a Powerstone token, as we won't have anything in exile to play, unless we've played Mishra's Research Desk or had Feldon destroyed. So there are other things that can trigger that to not give you a Powerstone token, but obviously we would just try to engineer it so that we don't. I've never had it once interact in that way, but just so you know it can happen. And this basically will generate us Powerstone tokens or give us cards to play. So actually, once we get this down, as long as it's not costing us too much tempo, which is always my worry with a 4-cost enchantment that does nothing, it is going to provide us with a nice mid-rangey ability, really, which is that we can either choose to take Powerstone tokens or whatever it shows us. If it shows us a land, obviously a land is generally better than a Powerstone token, unless we have loads of lands in our hand, then we'll take the token. If it shows us a card we want to play, we will play it. If it doesn't, we'll just take a token. So it's kind of a nice win-win. We're running 2 of Karn's Living Legacy. Whilst this is not new in this set, it was new in Dominaria and did not see a lot of play, so I'll just go through what it does. It's a Planeswalker with the cost 4, and it has 4 loyalty. +1, create a tapped Powerstone token. Great, that is our whole thrust of our deck, creating artifacts and then using them as ramp things. -1, pay any amount of mana. Look at that many cards from the top of your library, then put one of those cards into your hand and the rest on the bottom. So this is like an improved version of the Thran Spider's ability. So -1, if we paid 7, we would look at the top 7 and we could put any one card into our hand, not just artifacts. So this is a pretty nice ability. If we've played all of our ramp and we haven't run into either of our top ends, we can minus Karn instead to find that top end for the following turn. -7, you get an emblem with tap an untapped artifact you control. It deals 1 damage to any target. So as we have loads of Powerstones, and we will have more from Karn, if we ever get to that point, it's going to be very strong. I'm running 3 of the Mightstone and Weakstone. It may seem unusual to play this in a deck without playing the Meld pair, which is Urza Lord Protector, but there's a good reason for that. As I said, Gruul doesn't have brilliant removal. We are running Obliterating Bolts, but being able to remove something with 5 toughness is actually quite difficult. You can run things like, there's a 3-costing burn spell that will do it, but being able to do -5/-5, and this is a mana rock for 2 that ramps into our top end, is just a combination I can't pass up. And also the fact that it has the flexibility to draw us cards if there is nothing to destroy. So this card pretty much always is nice to draw in this deck, apart from if you already have one down, but even then it's still not that bad. So, as it is legendary. So this card is very, very, very nice in this deck, not to mention that we can pay with Powerstones to cast this, which we couldn't do for any other removal spell that we could put in its place. So it's kind of not quite, I would call, our top end, because we've got some very expensive cards, but it is expensive. But once you play, for example, an Arbalest Engineers, if you create a Powerstone token and then play a land next turn, you can play this, and if you play this, you can, and then play a land, you can play the Leveler next turn. So there's a very nice, like, acceleration through the deck, providing you're hitting your land drops, which we should do with all of our card filtering. We can play on turn 3 this, on turn 4 this, on turn 5 this, which is very devastating. Not to mention that this is actually an interaction spell as well as a ramp spell, so we can interact or draw as well as interacting on turn 4, and then on turn 5 play our Cityscape Leveler, which is kind of our payoff for the deck. This is an 8-costing 8/8 construct with trample. When you cast this spell, and whenever it attacks, destroy up to 1 target non-land permanent. Its controller creates a tapped Powerstone token. So, obviously being able to remove any non-land permanent is very strong, and note that it is on cast and not enter the battlefield, so this doesn't even need to resolve for the effect to happen. So if I cast this and it gets countered, I'm still going to get that cast trigger and be able to destroy something. That is actually really nice on an expensive card to have that ability, because it means even against like mono blue and things like that, they're going to try and tempo us or hold open stuff to counter our top end. We get that main effect that we want, which is to destroy something. Now, being able to repeatedly destroy things by attacking, sort of an annihilator effect, is nice, but you know, the fact that we get to destroy something anyway and get an 8/8 trample body in our graveyard, because this does have Unearth 8, which means we can pay 8 again and bring it back from the graveyard with haste. So this is a very, very sort of big, powerful win condition. It does struggle against things like Infernal Grasp, but as it does something on cast anyway, as I said, it's very good. The interesting thing about the Leveler, and doesn't really apply to this deck, but because it's not enter the battlefield, you can't cheat this in and get that effect. You can obviously cheat it in and then try and attack with it, like give it haste or attack with it the next turn, but the only real decks this is going to be very good in are ones that are ramping to it. Unlike the Portal to Phyrexia, which is when it enters the battlefield. So this is sort of, you could play this in cheat in decks, and we're sort of using it as a bit of nasty top end in addition to the Leveler, because I don't think 3 of these is enough. I don't have 4 in my collection, as you can see. I could craft more, but I don't think you want, I think a little bit of diversity at the top end is nice. The Portal of Phyrexia, when it enters the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices 3 creatures. It's obviously pretty nice. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. So we're going to get a creature, obviously, that our opponent has sacrificed, or we can get our own ones back from the graveyard that we've gone through to get to this point. So we're running both of these as top end. Maybe we would do like this if I had the copies, but I think we're perfectly fine running this. I am only running 25 lands in this deck, which is questionable. This probably could be 26 or maybe even 27. The reason I've gotten away with it is because we've got a load of filtering with the research desk, with Feldon and the Bankbuster, and a lot of our ramp is Powerstone based rather than land based, that it doesn't actually feel like you need them. So we seem to have gotten away with only running 25, but it could be the optimum amount is 26, 27. Let's see. I don't know what I would want to remove for it. Maybe the Battlethopter or something that isn't a core to the deck. Things that are absolutely core are this and this. Everything else has, well, maybe this as well. Everything else has a certain amount of redundancy in the deck, but we obviously need something as a top end. That is the deck. I'm very sorry it isn't a mono green artifacts deck. I did my best, honestly. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Anyway, let's have some games. Okay. Jin. Let's see if we can have some fun. This looks like a pretty promising start. I'm still not 100% sure about these cards. We'll see if they make it into the final version of the deck or not. Feldon, I'm pretty sure about. I think this combo is very nice. If you're going to burn away one of your own creatures, why not get to look at cards for it? It is a shame it can't block it. Be a bit OP if it could. Alright. Feldon down. No. We need some instant speed ways of making them so this can grow double time. It's a bit of a challenge for us against Grixis, but that's a nice target for Brotherhood's End. We want this to be flipped first, so we might even be able to grow our Wurmlet out of range. Nope. Sorry, Karn. At least we've got a solution to all this shit. And that's a nice card to have as well. People think, oh no, meat hook, I'm good. You're not good, bro. So 5, 6, 7 next turn. We're not quite at level. Ah, go for the throats. What a shame. For discarding grasp. Must have a spare. We'll have to do this in response. Another leveler. We're going to have to take a little bit of damage from this Sheldred, but we'll be fine. Yep, that's right, Karn. So, 6, 7, 8. We've already got enough for the leveler. He's leaving Karn. That is interesting. We'll draw. It's going to cost us 2 life, but hell. At least that's one thing out of the way that could exile the leveler. Might have to kill the reflection with the leveler first though, because of that. Nah. Let's get rid of Shelley. Doesn't matter. Still getting it back. Well, we're not getting that one back. We've got this one. More Powerstones.
Geometric perfection.
Even more appraisers, yeah. Can kill off Karn. Or just, I mean, it's up to them, but 6 damage to face is probably better at this point. If you're going to start going face, you might as well keep going face, I would say. Yeah, we'll play the research desk in. And if they kill the leveler, we can always power up Bankbuster first as a blocker. You've not got enough blood to kill the leveler, that's for sure. Digging for a grasp. Trespasser's nice, but nothing worth exiling our graveyard at the moment. Another Fable, gosh. Alright, let's do this first. Get the Wurmlet in. Do we kill the Fable? Probably. But it's only giving them 1 card. Maybe killing off one of these is better. This even, because of the damage. Yeah. They could triple block. They don't. I take it. Gain a couple of life. And probably just stick this in. Got an untapped one to use if we need it then. Ooh. Come on. Endless perfect objects. How have they only had 6 land out of half their deck? I mean, a load of it's in the graveyard, but not that much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright. That's something else to deal with, but we got the leveler. Activate research desk. Brotherhood's end's looking pretty good. Can we play 2 artifacts? No, we can only play 1 because it won't grow any further. So let's play this first. Oh, hold on, if we're going to play either of these, we might as well do it to gain the life from Wurmlet. Go like this. Then we'll do Brotherhood's End. Get rid of that. Put them on 1. And we'll end the turn there. We've got 1 blocker. Feeling pretty safe. This leveler has put in some work this game. Don't think that's going to save you. Just giving it to me. GG. Nice one. Alright, we managed to bring down the Grixis deck, which is actually a pretty high performer at the moment, so we've at least got some legs. Come on! Atta. Attaboy. Yeah, not the best, not the worst. We're not really doing anything for 8 turns. even less. What is this? Just gotta hope the opponent isn't doing the I was gonna say a blindingly fast start, and then we see one of the fastest cards in the game. Okay. What are they gonna play with that? It's gonna be kicks. Knew it. That was so easy. Can't get rid of that, so. Oh, sound, hello. There we go. Right. Yeah, they're gonna get some. They're gonna get some cards. We'll just go for some Powerstone tokens. So 5. We've got to sit. Oh my goodness. Bang. Life, yeah, what a combo this is. I need something to do, please, deck. That is half decent, I suppose, because I can block with it. Oh, I've got to draw. Oops. If we get to play these levelers, it's going to be a good time. So we can give it Death Touch, like so. And make it trickier for the opponent. They've probably got removal, thinking about it. 7 cards in a black deck, but you never know. And they might want to spend 2 of their attacks killing Karn. They might. So 5, 6, 7, 8. We can do a leveler next turn. So as long as we don't die, 8, 10. If they attack face, we're dead. We're dead anyway. Maybe they won't realise. They didn't realise. I don't think it's going to make a difference now, but they did just pass up lethal. Because even if we level her... It's not gonna live. Okay, next game. Big math. At least we've got a 1-drop this time. 3-drop. The thing is about the last one is we never had the sweeper or, well, any removal. So we struggle a bit more. Mightstone and Weakstone would have been good. The Brotherhood's End would have been very nice. Even a Surge Hacker mech would have saved us some. But alas. This looks half decent. As long as I would like to pull a 2-drop in the next 2 cards, but okay. What do we think about these engineers? They're a bit weak, aren't they? Would we be better off with the 4/4 that pulls a land? Not possibly. Nothing to do. So we just got to let them Shigeki away, unfortunately. Am I getting countered? Would like to be able to play one of these. Give me that Powerstone token. Teething Wurmlet. Yeah. Maybe they won't find a land. They did. Oh, it's the it's the what do you call it? Titania deck. So we can't kill the Shigeki because they can bounce its hand. So we'll just draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can level the next turn. So although they're ramping, we're ramping faster. The joy of the Mightstone and Weakstone. Maybe... Oh, they can't tap their Shigeki. Maybe we should just kill it off. Stop them getting any of this back. They can't get that anyway. Just the destroy spells, but we don't really want them getting those, so... I think we'll kill it. Normally I would draw, but I think removing Shigeki is handy, and it lets us get in for 5. It's got a double upside. So 7 mana here, 8 there. We can level her. We've only actually got 4 vehicles in the deck, so maybe we should remove the mech. With it being one of them. Another Shigeki. Ooh. Brotherhood's End. Not that great, is it? Get rid of Ruststein. And that'll probably get chumped by the insect. No. I wonder... I mean, this is Sultai, but then Sultai not really got any sweepers, so... They do have lots of removal for this, though. Probably. So, if we draw a land, we can play our portal. I don't really care about that. And kill it with the leveler. Yeah. Too much pain. It's a shame. I wanted to see how they planned on assembling Titania, but GG. Right. I made a couple of changes to the deck following the last game, even though we won. I removed 2 Surge Hacker mechs and 1 Karn, so we're still left with 2 copies of Karn, no mechs. And I put 2 Obliterating Bolts in and 1 Liberator Urza's Battlethopter. That's all of our good stuff is colourless or expensive stuff. This could be quite good fun. We've got lots of expensive stuff, so it should grow a lot. Let's see. Okay, some kind of hasty deck. We are not getting the lands, but we've got loads in the deck, so sure we'll find them. More Swift Spear. Any spell? No, thankfully not. We would like one of our sweepers, but land more important. Thank goodness. So we can flash in the Battlethopter, which will grow the Wurmlet. A Warfare and a Gatekeeper for next turn. Okay. Not attacking with the Epicure. Interesting. Do we kill off one of those Swift Spears? Maybe. I think so. Interesting they let us keep the thing that gains life. Okay. Karn is good. Lucky that we got the lands we needed. Will they just deal with the Wurmlet before it gets bigger and gains life? Nope. Do they not have removal for the Wurmlet? Presumably they're going to want to put their Warfare down. But if they've got, I guess, Warfare land and Play with Fire in hand, that would be bad. We won't be blocking that. It's only 3 damage. So we can gain another life. And then we can Mightstone, Weakstone, I think, to kill the Swift Spear. As much as I would like to draw 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can play the Leveler next turn. Get rid of the Warfare. Starting to look like we might have turned the corner against mono red. Oh, I can play this as well this turn. One more life back. That little life gain clause is very nice. Just lets us compete in this exact matchup. Nope. We can afford to wait. I've got all the time in the world. Shame about the Battlethopter. Okay, crew this. I don't really mind if either both get burned. It'll just have to be what it is, but they should have got rid of the life gainer sooner, probably. Okay, so we're going to take 3 damage when we cast the Leveler. It doesn't do the extra damage to yourself, that's quite nice.
I will not budge.
We'll just create more Powerstones for now.
Every Powerstone fuels our cause.
Every Powerstone fuels our cause. Great point, Karn. Could top deck a little portal to Phyrexia, that would close the game out, wouldn't it? Let's have a look. 4, 5.
We must conceal our plans.
Can take another Leveler. Whoops. Kind of a bit of pointless damage, but can look for some more cards, for some more lands. Why didn't I attack with this? I just lost my absolute mind there. I was just thinking defense, but could have killed the Gatekeeper. Definitely a Wurmlet. That'll gain us more than 2 back anyway, won't it? This is basically unkillable for mono red. I've made a couple of misplays here, but I still think we'll get away with it. Got complacent from having the Leveler down. There's just 1 damage now, so it's not the end of the world. Maybe they could do 7, but I don't think so. Alright, let's play this Leveler. Kill this. Yeah, we take 2, but we gain 1. Have they got double lightning strike in hand? That would be bad. Let's gain another life. Can have a Power Stone for your chick. How's that for a good deal? Oh, they didn't like the deal. GG. Alright, this deck's doing some work now. I'm feeling the flow a little bit. Waiting for Magic Paolo. It's the 2 land thing on the play. I just don't like it. This is the problem. You mulligan, you just get 2 lands again. It's like getting slapped in the face. At least we've got a research desk this time. We can ditch the Karn. Worst case is we just tap that and get a land. Delver. Delver flip. Of course. Okay, the Brotherhood's end is looking good. Alright. Another Lore Master. Do we want an extra card? No, we're going to play our Bankbuster so we can get one that way. I would like to kill that Lore Master. Decline. Got 2 spare, which is nice. For any countering shenanigans. Wonder how many artifact spells or abilities the opponent has. Can Bankbuster during their turn. At the moment we're keeping up with the draws. Spell Pierce down, that's good. We would never cast this whilst they have that in their hand. I mean, that probably means they've got another one. Okay. Do they not have a... They don't have a land. Are you not running enough lands? So 5, 6, 7. That's not enough for the portal, unfortunately. Nah, I'd rather it didn't cost me more. I'd rather just pay 2 with Bankbuster to draw. No. This has got reach, so they have to cast an instant or sorcery to get through it. And we can pay 7 and start pulling some more artifacts. Now they're still drawing, so they would have to pay a lot for instant or sorcery in their own turn. So probably worth blocking with the Thran Spider and forcing them to do it. No, they're not attacking. Okay. Might as well Mishra as well. Battlethopter, then we can play during their turn. Was it at the end? Mishra was the end of your next turn, is it? To the end of your next turn, okay. Decline. So let's try playing this. Alright. So I guess now we will use the Thran Spider. Could use the research desk, but since we have the 7, it feels rude not to use it in their turn. Okay, they didn't draw, so they're fine casting a spell. There it is. So we've got an artifact, otherwise it's a lot to pay for to do nothing. Okay, now they know we've got the leveler. Should have waited until the end step, to be honest. Got a bit overexcited. But at least we'll have 10, 7, 8, 9, 10, so we'll have enough to pay for Make Disappear if that's what they go for. No. Maybe we should just do this and aim at the Djinn. We'll do this and aim at the Djinn. The effect goes on the stack anyway, doesn't it? It is still worth countering, or slipping your Djinn. They do both. Got to get through their cards at some point. Okay, we can only take one more hit from this Djinn, so we do need to remove it. Got kind of two options in hand, so we've got 8, 9, 10. We're a little way off the 13. I suppose we can block with the Thran Spider eventually. Maybe now. In case this thing, you know, they can buff or flip it. So we've been getting through Essence Scatters. Leveler's probably still the best option. I'm guessing they have more slips by now, but let's see. Okay. Can't pay for it again, that is right. But at least the Djinn is gone. There are no more slips. We could power this up in defense against the Lawmaster. But I think we'll attack. Be brave, because we've got these in the graveyard. And that's an unearth, so they can't counter it. So unless they can slip the leveler, which they, unless they drew one this turn, we would have used it last turn. Yeah, GG. There's definitely a certain type of person that plays mono blue, and I have to say I am not one of them. I think there are 0 mono blue decks on this channel. It's just you just have to hate your life, I think, to play mono blue. It's such a depressing act that you must be desperately unhappy, I think, to play mono blue, or enjoy making other people desperately unhappy. I'm not sure which. Please tell me it's a soldiers deck. That's why I built this blooming deck, the Brotherhood's End, to play against soldiers, and we haven't played against it once. Yeah, oh, come on. That's not on, is it? Thank God we got our Arbalest Engineers. Can do a cheeky 1 damage to Thalia. Although we do kind of need the Powerstone tokens at some point, but to be fair, maybe we just save for Brotherhood's End. Let's see what happens this turn. Ow. My hood nudged the volume on my end. Earphones and made it go really loud. So, I reckon we just do this, and then we hope we draw a land for Brotherhood's End. As this can block everything here. They haven't got any abilities to pay for with their Powerstone token yet. We've got the Bolt if we need it as well. Oh, it's going to be so nice to sweep a big load of soldiers up there. Especially if we get our little spider left at the end. Oh, come on. That's just rude. At least it has a nice when it enters the battlefield ability for us. Just give me a land. That's it. No fucking about. Does as requested. Bye bye soldiers. Nice, thanks. Yeah, we still got our bolt, but now we're up to 6 already. If we draw a land and play this, we'll be on 8 next turn. Well, the turn after our next one. And we've got our 2-4. Well, we had our 2-4. Yeah, that's probably not going to get you far though, just those two. Those two little dudes. I think we'll just bolt this, shall we? Save us some damage. I could play the Engineers because they're more expensive, but this gets Powerstone tokens, which then, I mean, they could use with the Foundry, but that's it. And it's just a 2-2. And they can use it with this, make the soldiers bigger. So we're up to 7. Can I draw a land? And then we could level one of these veterans and force the concede. So they actually can pay 5. So we don't block. We're not falling for that. Yeah, time to level you. GG. I called it. Soldiers, come on. Okay. Shin. Nice hand. And we're on the play. Against 95%. Look at my percentage. Trying to make this blooming mono green deck. It's trashing my percentage into the ground. Now play a 2-drop so I can pick off your sleeper. Thank you. We have got 2 Brotherhood's Ends, so maybe we just do that instead. Yeah. We can find a land with our Feldon as well. Yep, have that Vale, please. Save me missing a land, like the opponent has done. Powerstone, desk. We're up to 5. Yeah. Good old Feldon gets you out of those situations. Alright. Spidey. 89%. Do we only got 2 of these Feldons in? And we've had them in our opening hand twice. Both of them. But it's quite a good, as far as duplicates go, it's not a bad one to have because it does replace itself with loads of cards. Got 4 2-drops. Well, sorry, 5 2-drops. I think we're going to have to play the Bankbuster into 2 black and not having drawn another land. Got to make them do something with their initiative of going first. Or not. Okay, now we'll play this. Get it destroyed. Maybe I should have played the Spider actually. Given that all this open mana. Okay, we can flash this, or we can tap, try and draw a land, or we can play this. I'm tempted to just flash this in. Maybe I should try and draw a land. It's only a 45% chance of hitting. Let's not bother. Opponent's wasted their turn as well then. Don't mind wasting mine as long as they waste theirs. Ooh. Mardu says angels. Gonna get killed, isn't it? But yeah, don't mind chewing through some removal. Okay, I think we need to look for land now. Wow. It's not the best amount of land I've had compared to this. They could be flooding, not really doing anything. What is happening here? Got to play something out of my hand, otherwise we'd be discarding. Let's play this, shall we? If nothing else, the Power Stone can fuel us using our Bankbuster to dig for land in future. And we get a chance to get more removal out of our opponent. They don't care about the Spider. Not enough to remove it. God, they've got land for days. And we got land for no days. We need land for days. I mean, it's probably an Invoke Despair type deck, yeah. It's like they're reading my mind, or I'm reading their mind, whichever way around it is. Thank God. Right. Karn. Powerstone. That puts me up to 6. Yeah, Karn dead. I mean, they're going to have every one of their Invoke Despairs in the top 18, aren't they? We know they are. It's not Invoke Despair if you don't draw them all. So I guess we hit with this and we just try and draw something with this. And by hit with this I mean at least swing with it. What do we got? Thran Spider? Nice, we can play that as well. I don't want to lose just being Invoked Despaired to death. But surely they must have something else. Running a 3-colour Invoked Despair deck. Gotta get punished for it. Look! What is going on? Stop this at once. Can you play something? No. Only one left over. Let's just Bankbuster then. Gives us a little creature for their 4th Invoke Despair trigger. I can't quite afford that. At least we're not getting behind on cards, just life. There's not that many more ways they do direct damage to us though, right? Cannot believe this. But unless they're playing that card, damage for number of swamps, but that would be absurd in this deck. Okay, that is 4 direct damage. We do have a way of gaining life if we draw any of our Wurmlets, but... And at least I can get rid of this. It's just if they've got another one in hand, we are dead. But if they get rewarded for playing this absurd deck, I'll be very sad. It's because we didn't get lands, in fairness. We would have easily had stuff down to soak up those invokes otherwise. Bang. Would be nice if you could give this haste, eh? This is red-green, so you could play Stormseeker and Alara and Alina, but you'd have to sacrifice too much. And the only reason this works is because of this combo, really. Well, not combo. Oh, fuck's sake. A joke. We should easily have won that game. Just the land wrecked us. Alright. Let's see if we can not get screwed with the ratings this time. Ratings? Did I say ratings? Don't know what I mean by that. Where's the land? Yeah, we keep. Is this the person that we beat earlier? I had 2 black land? No, maybe not. Don't recognise these. Sleeves. Maybe it's the mono-blue person. No, it's not, is it? Whatever we play now is probably getting countered. This has never been dealt damage. Let's try this. I'd rather this resolve. Gonna Fading Hope both. Why would you bounce this when this is more expensive? They both do you damage this turn. Don't get that. Okay. We've still got one. Getting through their cards as well. Only 2 left in hand now. Can you counter this? Nope, just an impulse. That's nice then. This can gain Death Touch this turn. Do we attack with this for cards? No, we get more with it later. They're not going to want to block the Death Touch. Mono blue, fuck you. So, we're only at 5. Come on, throw away another island and then don't have an island. Oh, shame. No, not yet. They did not have an island. Put them under pressure. They're probably not going to do 18 damage to us this turn. That would be quite impressive. And they don't want to be at the point where they can't attack. That's for sure. That is annoying. Yikes. I mean, one of those is just to block the Wurmlet, which they'll have to do at some point. They might attack with the Djinn, since they've got good blockers now. Let's have a look at what's in our research desk. Let's research hard. The leveler. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oops, we don't have enough to play the bloody thing. What else is exiled? Oh, just another Wurmlet. Oh, we can play this though. Please. Why don't I have enough yet? Because we haven't played our Mightstone and Weakstone, that is why. Let's try this. Meg 8, okay. Until the end of your next turn. So if I find a land here, that would be very nice. Portal to Phyrexia we also can't afford. If our Mightstone and Weakstone had resolved. So we've got these, so... No, can't do that, because then this will attack. Block, 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 block. No, we don't attack. Can they cast 3 to make both Djinns lethal? Maybe. They probably have to get lucky, but they can do it. No, they can cast another Djinn there. God, they got all of them in the top 20. No, you motherfucker. Can't believe we lost a mono blue. Toast for life. Good name. Do you like some toast? Wow, I got all greens. Pop's fine though, because we've got the research desk and a bankbuster. Famous last words, but mulligan from opponent, that's what we like to see. Those are cool. Not as cool as this. Not mono blue again, please. Don't do this to me. It's like I'm being punished for something. Not making enough videos, I know. That's it. That's what I'm being punished for. It bloody is. Come on. How are you not countering that? So we've only got essence scatters. Well, now they might have a negate. There's the red. So do we... What do we do? Let's try this. I like to keep trying to play stuff and keep making them counter stuff. Because then we can get through their hand. Got to get through it at some point. Want to exhaust all the counters before we try and play the big stuff. Especially these flexible counters. And then we can always refill our hand with these later. And if they let any of this resolve, great. Not too surprising that it isn't. How about this? No. How about this? Yes. And now on 2 cards. Well, 3 in their turn. So this is normally about where the creatures start coming out. Yeah. We're land short to target the terror, but that's okay. We'll just use this to draw. Find a land. Or 2. And we'll then Bankbuster. Draw more. Got another one, that's nice. And then we'll research desk at the end of their turn. We'll take the 5 for now. Yeah, that's okay. Got removal for one of them, and then can remove the other one with this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nearly got removal for one with this. We have actually, yeah. Kind of just want to find a land with this, or another leveler. Take the leveler. Great. So, yeah, we'll have 2 left over. They play like this, target that. They can't counter the ability. Well, they can, but they won't be running that card. They can counter the creature, but not if they don't have one. And then they're in trouble. They can bounce it, I suppose. Haven't given them anything else to bounce yet. Yeah. We don't need to block, so. But they now know that that Terror's dead. I'm not even worried about a Jin now. Fine. To top, it'll be a Jin or something, but they won't be keeping counter spells at this point when you're behind on board. It is, but they, I mean, I think they know how this card works, but let's see. Now they know. Now they know. Okay, for all of you statistics fanatics out there, a quick look at the stats. So, after 15 games I've played with this deck, we have achieved a 67% win rate. I think it's only fair to really look at the last 7, maybe, because I have made the change from removing one Karn, removing these mechs, which I don't think were very good. I did that on the video. And then we added 2 bolts and the Liberator, and I think that actually makes quite a big difference to the deck, having these 2 bolts in there. So I'm even more happy with where the deck is at now, but even before taking it all into account, 67% is obviously pretty good in Mythic. Can't really complain with 67% win rate at best of 1. It is a bit of a sort of janky, inconsistent deck. I mean, that is absolutely true. Oddly, we've played the most against mono blue. I think they were all in the video, so it was a bit of a punishing video, but hey, there you go. That's what I do for you guys, the service I do. Mono white, yeah, if they can aggress and grow us down and we don't draw the Brotherhood's End, I think is what happened there. We lose, similar to white black, but in general we've had pretty strong success, especially against what I would call like the hard hitters in the format. Things like this Mardu deck. You know, there are some pretty the Grixis deck even is a pretty hard hitter, and I think we did well to beat things like that. Anyway, I had a lot of fun with it. That's one thing I will say about this deck. It is incredibly fun. If you want to just chill out and don't worry too much about playing this most serious deck available, this is definitely a fun one to play. It does require quite a few new mythics and rares, sadly, but then that's what you get for you know, trying to build something around a new deck thing like the Leveler, like I've done here. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like it, please do like and subscribe. Otherwise, I can't wait to see you next time.